So I speak so much with the spinal flow technique about spinal blockages, and people are saying to me, what is a spinal blockage? And I think it's awesome that you guys are asking, so I just wanted to do this quick video to explain what a spinal blockage is. And so if you think about a vertebra or a joint, like a joint moves like that, it has good movement. If there's a blockage, for me it feels like that. It's stuck as opposed to moving. And a spinal blockage is exactly the same. That's a joint, but the spinal blockage is exactly the same, but it's on the spine. And so what we have is everything I do with the spinal flow technique is about the brain, the spinal cord, and the nervous system, because that's a master control. That's everything I do and I speak about. So with a spinal blockage, we've got the brain, a spinal cord that comes out, which is fully delicate, and to protect that spinal cord, what we have is 33 movable bones. They are called vertebra. That's the spinal column. It's 33 movable bones that protect the spinal cord. And as long as these movable bones are moving, there's free movement. But what can happen is with the vertebra is they can become blocked. And the block is a cause of stress in the body. When there's stress in our body, physical, chemical, and emotional stress, our body doesn't know what to do with it or how to release it. Often, when there's too much stress, the body says, hey, I don't know what to do, but I'm just going to put that to the back of my mind. The back of our mind is our spine. It finds a place. It finds a place to house it, store it, and hold it there until we can process it later. But often what the case is that there is no later, our life keeps going, there's more and more stress, and this stress starts to get stored in the spine at one of these locations. And so that is what a spinal blockage is. It's a vertebra that was moving, that had good movement, it was moving really nicely, but now what's happening is there's stress on top of it. Layers of stress, physical, chemical, and emotional stress that have come onto that vertebra, which means it no longer moves. So from moving like that, it becomes quite stuck. And so what I teach my spinal flow practitioners is how to feel for good movement, how to feel up and down the spine, how to feel every single vertebra of the spine to assess, is it moving or is there a blockage? And once they feel a blockage in that spine, to determine what's the cause of it. Is it physical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress? But not just even determine the cause. It's like, how long has it been there? Because sometimes I can feel a blockage, it's only been there for 5 days. Other times I can feel a blockage in my clients that's been there for 20 to 30 years. And we can, with the spinal flow technique, you have the skills not only to be able to feel every single vertebra to see if they're moving or if there's some stuckness, you also have the tools to really determine what's been stored there. Is it physical, chemical, emotional stress, but also how long it's been there. And that's what I love with the spinal flow technique, is that my practitioners learn just by using their hands how to feel to see what's happening in their client's spine. So the spinal blockage is, once there's a blockage there, what happens is it can be quite similar to, a subluxation in chiropractic, or a sprain strain, or a facet joint dysfunction. It's an area where, because there's no movement, the body comes in to protect. So it means that there could be an inflammatory response around it, the muscles may come in to contract, and when I have a look at it and I see it in the spine, what I feel for is lack of movement. Sometimes I can feel inflammation, and other times I can just feel like a real stuckness in that area. But what we need to remember is that around every spinal vertebra, what comes out of the spinal vertebra, the column, is the peripheral nerves that are coming out to the organs, cells, tissues, muscle of the body. So if there's a blockage at the spinal level, that's also going to interfere with the nerve supply that needs to come out. So sometimes with my clients, I feel spinal blockages here in the foundation gateway. And when the blockage is here in the foundation gateway, that's interfering with the nerve supply that's coming down the leg. That chunky nerve, the sciatica leg. So sometimes my clients are saying, oh, I've got sciatica, I've got leg pain, I've got hip pain, or I've got back pain, But what I feel is I can feel that blockage right here in that foundation gateway that's causing the leg pain. The leg pain's not coming from here, it's coming from up here where the nerve comes through. It can be really similar to up here, it's C1. Sometimes at C1 there's a spinal blockage through there, and that's a nerve supply that, you know, comes to the head and neck. So sometimes my clients say, I've got headaches, I've got migraines, I've got eye pain, ear pain, and rather than looking at the eyes and the ears, I can feel that blockage at C1 that's causing that. And so what we really look at with the spinal flow technique is our practitioners learn to find the cause. Where is the cause of our client's symptoms? And we trace that back to the brain and the nervous system with the spinal column, and by feeling the spinal blockages and seeing how the spine functions. Once we release the spinal blockages, the nerves are able to do what they need to do. And remember, with healing, healing happens inside all of us. So our clients know exactly how to heal. So a lot of the practitioners and healers that I work with, or even people that come to the spinal flow technique that have had no experience at all, what we know for sure is healing happens inside all of our bodies, but often if there's a spinal blockage in there, it's interfering with the body's own wisdom to be able to heal. So for us, by really helping our clients release, find their own blockages, release that, their natural ability to heal via the spinal wave does what it needs to do. So when they leave off the table, they're like, oh, I feel so much clearer in my body. I feel like my spinal blockages are being cleared. But the best part is that they were able to find them, release them, as opposed to us doing that. They have everything they need to heal, and also the ability to find exactly where their own spinal blockages are, release them, and we can help them with that with the spinal flow technique.